Nigerian organizations also recorded the highest number of cyber attacks in Africa in January 2026, averaging 4,701 attacks per organization per week. This is according to the latest Global Threat Intelligence Report by Checkpoint Research. The figure represents a 12% year-on-year increase and a rise from 4,622 weekly attacks in December 2025, underscoring intensifying cyber pressure on Africa's largest economy. Well, joining me now to discuss this in a lot more detail is Oludolamu Onimole, who is Microsoft MVP Security Cyber Operations Analyst. Welcome to the show, Oludolamu. Many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
You're most welcome. Well, let's begin with the main drivers behind the recent surge in cyber attacks targeting Nigerian organizations. What are some of these?
The surge is driven mainly by scale and speed. AI allows attackers now to automate phishing, scan system continuously for weaknesses, and personalize attacks at a level that was not previously possible. This means that more attacks are launched at lower costs with higher success rates, especially against organizations that rely on outdated or poorly configured systems. Another driver is exposure created by rapid digital adoption. Payments, records, and services have moved online faster, sometimes faster than security investments. In many cases, these systems are internet-facing by default because they need to be accessed by people from outside the network, while security controls and monitoring they often lag behind. This creates easy entry points for these attackers.
So quite a myriad of enabling effects there, certainly why it's become a lot more rife. Now, when it comes to tackling cyber risk, how important is threat intelligence sharing between public and private sectors? And what challenges could possibly arise, in implementing this?
Threat intelligence sharing is one of the most effective ways to reduce cyber risk at a national level. When attack patterns are shared early, other organizations can block these similar attempts before the damage spreads. Without sharing, each organization learns the hard way, and attackers can use the same techniques repeatedly. Let's take the instance of an example of someone traveling on maybe Lagos-Ibadan expressway. If you're driving, and someone from the opposite lane says, "Oh, there's an ongoing robbery attack on your own lane," you most likely park or most likely take an alternative route. It's similar with intelligence sharing between public and private sectors, in that you already know that an attack has happened and you take measures to prevent it from happening in your own environment. On the part of challenges, the major challenges I would say are trust, legal risk, and coordination. Most organizations fear reputational damage or regulatory consequences. If they disclose incidents, that is if they disclose incidents. There's also a lack of standardized processes for how information is shared, who receives it, and how quickly it can be acted upon.
Right, so standardization is a key one there amongst others that you've mentioned. Now, we also know that implementation is certainly a very important step. But what metrics will help assess the new cybersecurity framework's effectiveness once that box has actually been ticked?
Effectiveness should be measured by outcomes, not intentions. Not your intention to maybe put security tooling in your environment. Key metrics, as you said, could include reductions in successful breaches, faster detection times, quick containment of incidents, and improved compliance with breach reporting timelines. These indicators would show whether organizations are responding better, even if these attacks continue. It's also important to track this reporting behavior, right? An increase in reported incidents initially can signal progress, not failure. This is because it shows organizations are no longer hiding breaches, right? Over time, improved response speed should translate into lower financial and operational impact.
Now, speaking of that, given that many organizations actually underinvest in cybersecurity, and one would wonder why, how would you make a business case for increasing cybersecurity budgets?
Well, you're wondering why. I can tell you why. The truth is that the cybersecurity department is one of the departments in organizations that do not generate any money. Let's be honest, and it's one of the reasons why organizations are hesitant to spend money on security tooling or on the department. So one thing is cybersecurity can be framed as loss prevention and not technology spend. For instance, when speaking to executives who are in charge of maybe financial allocation for cybersecurity departments, it's important to speak to them in languages they can understand, like putting things in terms of monetary losses. They understand that they will lose money if they don't implement some security tooling, and they will be more inclined to do that. A single serious cybersecurity incident can cause more than several years of security investment through fraud losses, downtime, and regulatory penalties, and reputational damage, which is not easy to quantify or recover from. This makes cybersecurity a financial risk management issue and not an IT preference. The truth is, in reality, attackers only need to succeed once, even if they try multiple times. Whilst defenders on the other side of the fence pay for these weaknesses. Investing upfront reduces the likelihood and impact of that single successful attack, which is where the real cost lies for organizations.
But surely the monetary losses are just as high with security breaches, isn't it? But we will come back to that. As we know, we are also in the wake of a rapid technological advancement. What role does artificial intelligence begin to play in both enabling and defending against modern cyber attacks?
So there are two sides of the aisle, like you rightly said just now. The defender side and the attacker side. So AI it enables attackers by automating tasks that once required time and skill. It helps them to generate convincing phishing messages now. It helps them to adapt attacks in real time, move faster than manual defense processes can respond to. This has shifted the advantage towards the attackers in many environments, right? So on the defensive side, like on the other side of defense, AI also helps organizations to analyze large volumes of data, to spot unusual behavior and automate their responses. The challenge is that attackers adopt AI aggressively, while many organizations are still a little bit cautious or slow in deploying AI-driven defense tools. This is as a result of something we call IT dinosaurs. That means people who have spent a long time in IT ecosystems and should I say, resistance to change. They don't want to move with the times. They don't want to change. Attackers, on the other hand, are adopting these tools aggressively, while many organizations are still waiting.
Wow, that's a very interesting point you noted there. So it's all about our receptiveness, because if you don't do it, your attackers are using it. Very interesting to note that. Now, we all know that all sectors definitely require cyber protection. But if we had to prioritize sectors for heightened cybersecurity focus, which would you say should get the most attention? And of course, I'm going to allude to the fact that you mentioned earlier about monetary losses. So if you could just tie this in.
So before you can prioritize sectors, you need to first do a risk assessment. That's in the real world. But if you're asking, like on my own part, I do believe that financial institutions should be prioritized first. Because attacks directly translate into monetary losses and systemic financial risk. So government systems follow closely, in my own opinion, as breaches affect national trust, public services, and sensitive citizens' data. So imagine, let me give an example. Imagine the NIMC website gets hacked. And all information regarding our NIN, BVN, things like that gets leaked. It's going to be a serious national issue, right? Next on the list, in my own opinion, should be telecommunications. That's because they underpin both government and financial services. A weakness in telecom infrastructure can amplify attacks across multiple sectors, making it a very critical dependency that cannot be ignored.
All right, very interesting insights there. And we've unfortunately run out of time, but many thanks, Oludolamu, for joining us and sharing these great insights. And we'll see you again very soon.